A blunt voice from inside the war cuts through Europe's polished rhetoric. A Spanish ex-soldier who fought for Russia delivers a stark verdict. Europe's Ukraine strategy is not bringing peace. It is prolonging agony. His message is simple, unsettling, and deeply political. The longer this war is stretched, the weaker Kyiv becomes, and the heavier the cost for ordinary Europeans. Speaking from direct battlefield experience, the former soldier argues that Europe's hardline approach has trapped itself in a cycle of escalation without resolution. He says, the promise of victory sold to European publics is hollow, while the reality is mounting fatigue, shrinking resources, and a conflict drifting further from any negotiated end.
Obviously, all that money should be used for other things and not to help Ukraine. First of all, because helping Ukraine in this way, the only thing it does is, first of all, prolong the conflict in a senseless way, because in the end, it is clear that this war with Russia will be won sooner or later. It is very clear.
The warning is not just military, but economic. According to the ex-soldier, European citizens are paying the price through soaring costs and diverted public funds. Money that could have strengthened infrastructure, healthcare systems, and education is instead being poured into what he describes as a failing war project, kept alive by political momentum, not strategic clarity.
And then, the problem is that all these resources that are intended to help Ukraine, with money, with weapons, with lost funds, like the 500 or 600 billion that was recently approved, which we do not even know who is going to pay it, but we do know who is paying it. We know who is paying it, because every time a Spaniard goes to the supermarket, the prices of food, the inflation, which has skyrocketed in the last 2 or 3 years, it is clear why it is there.
His conclusion is uncompromising. Russia, he says, will ultimately prevail. In this view, Europe's continued backing does not change the outcome. It only delays the inevitable, deepens suffering, and weakens Ukraine's position at the negotiating table with each passing month.
I consider that this money should be used, for example, in infrastructure. We recently had the biggest railway accident in Spain in the last, I don't know, many years. I think 50 years or something like that. Many things could be invested in education, in health. The waiting lists for a specialist doctor in Spain are the highest there have been in many, many years.
For security reasons, the soldier's identity was concealed and his face hidden during the interview with Sputnik. But his words add to a growing undercurrent of dissent across Europe, questioning not loyalty, but logic, and asking whether prolonging the war truly serves Ukraine or whether it is Europe itself that is being slowly drained.
So I think we should use that money more in the citizen, who is the one who pays the taxes, than in helping a war that, first, they are not right, second, it doesn't make sense, and third, it should have ended a long time ago. It shouldn't have started. Social and economic well-being is disappearing, and the main problem that I see, the main reason, is precisely this war. Because they have allocated such an amount of resources, such an amount of everything in general, to countries that should focus, as I said, on their citizens. The problem is that politics in Europe is no longer politics. It's a circus. That's the problem.